Good morning, everybody. New water. So, new things going on. New days, new opportunities. It's Monday. And we always I always thought that was funny that, Mondays are certainly hard because then you're like, the rest of the week, but that it's only an indication that you're incredibly bored with your job, bored with your life. And we want to move away from that. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. So, I was looking through one of some of the morning routines that I do as I go through all of the, I don't know, news. I tend to end up at that bounding into comics, just kind of see what's going on and just kind of getting a feel for the different things being talked about in pulp culture right now and getting into daily stupid and bounding into comics. I it, it's some of these things that it's frustrating and certainly frustrating. It's very frustrating to see our favorite shows, the shows we grew up with, Scooby Doo, Saturday morning cartoons, those types of things, and you have it where these shows are promoting, different races and those sort of things. Fine, whatever. In the end, in the big picture, it doesn't really matter to me. But then you have things like be who you're gonna be. I would be much more in a fan of make your own IPs, make your own stories, don't rehash old ones that are already established, sort of thing. Make your own ones. So that's what I'm doing, right? The Last Colony, that's what we're doing. We're making our own thing. We're not. It's not just whatever. In any case, it's just like they're going to and this bounding into comics. You're gonna race swap, and a Velma. Fine. I don't. In the end, I don't care. I really don't care. If you want to show another human being, show another human being. Tell your story, whatever. But then they're not gonna feature Scooby Doo. You're just like, um, I don't, it's sad. So anyway, I'm moving on from news. I don't want to talk about any more about news today. I'm rather bored with it. Actually, it's just, ugh, boo. Who cares about news? Who cares? Besides the news, I think these days it's designed to have bad news written all over it. And it has to be so incredibly ridiculous, such as this. We're going to make a Scooby Doo show without Scooby Doo. That's not Scooby Doo then. Like, uh, so yeah, we're tired of it. We're tired of the silliness. I mean, people just virtue signaling all over the place, and we're bored with it. It's boring, and I think in the big picture of things, which after all this sort of like goofball news and then news that is almost meaningless and then news that you're just it's so shocking. News these days, it's so shocking. I think, and I hopefully I've mentioned this several times, that it's the fact that it has to be so shocking to remotely get our attention now, which is an indication that our focus is starting to move off of the balderdash, malarkey, and insanity and moving off to things that are important, on target, purposeful, um, exciting, unique. That that that's awesome. So usually what happens is that on a particular slow news day, and certainly being the start of a new work week, it's sort of a thing that much rather I'd rather go to Tony Robbins or some of these other guys and see what's going on in their world and different things like that. And it's again, it's about our focus moving to new things, new opportunities, right? Today's focus of the show, new opportunities. And that's when I was a kid. I always remember I'd hear people griping about, and we've all been there, right? We've all griped about Mondays, right? Mondays suck. But I remember as a kid, for a moment in time, I remember thinking, what's the big deal? Monday's just another day. And yeah, you might be at school and there might be some knucklehead kids in your class that are a bunch of buttholes and whatevers. But that's that's any given day. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that we don't, and I know I've repeated this last week, that we don't waste the opportunities of this over the past year or so. That we treat these, when we go back to quote unquote normal, which I don't even know what that is to begin with, but it's not about going back to what we were previously. That's silly. I don't want to go. I want to keep improving. I want to keep growing. I don't want to go back to the art skills or abilities I had last year. I already hashed that out. Let's explore and go down new paths. Let's try new things, new opportunities. Let's take risks. That's what this is about. So I don't know. I probably could end the show right here. I could probably end it right here and be just as well. And I, with this sort of show, I want your guys' comments. I want your guys' thoughts. One of the things I have been pondering over is doing the, I don't know. I like this live stream thing on YouTube. I don't like YouTube in the sense of the censorship going on, the rampant censorship on any of the other platforms. And we certainly use them because they're useful right here, right now. And we go into it wide open that we know that it won't always be that way. Ooh, that light's bright. It won't always be that way. It won't always be easy to, that's why we went down the path of making our own platforms and those types of things, right? So I think the thing is that maybe I want to talk about today is when we start new things, the hardest thing, the biggest challenge that I have to work through, ElijahLoving.com. The biggest, sorry, silly, I know. The biggest thing I have to work through is and we all do this, when we start a new project, is seeing through the longevity of it, the big scope of it. And one of the things that I'm currently working on, which I'm also working on it from a project of a standpoint of journaling, managing our time, those types of things, within TikvahMinds, managing our time so that we're being more productive with it. We feel more accomplished. It's not necessarily sort of a thing that is a do list, that's a ball and chain that keeps us locked down to something that is just. But at the same time, it's important to have routine and to use that as a uplifting, not a something that's going to, I don't know, sink us lower or just really chain us down. I think that's back to that whole idea. And one of the things that, like this morning, for example, I got up and there was kind of like, oh no, okay, I need to work through some of these sort of things, do the show. There's another sort of gig I'm looking into earlier this morning, kind of get those pieces worked out and all that sort of stuff. And then I was like, okay, I just need to go straight to doing that, straight to that. And then it was like, well, wait a minute. why am I doing those things? Big picture, right? Why am I doing those things in the first place? Well, ultimately, I'm doing them because I it, it I f- as a whole, as to bet my best ability, I am feel that I'm fulfilling ultimately my purpose, right? And helping others accomplish theirs. That's why I'm TikvahMinds, the crowdfunding, Last Colony, comic books, whatever. All those things are that's ultimately why because that why ultimately goes back to because I want to show my family, my kids, all those types of things, the impossibilities, and those impossibilities ultimately can enrich us and help us do incredible things and see other people do incredible things too, right? So when I got up this morning, started thinking in those sort of terms, I was like, wait a minute. No, take a moment, realize, have that gratitude of where I am right now, visualizing the entire day in front of me. I took a nice cold shower this morning. It actually felt good because I got a sunburn. Got kissed by the sun over the weekend. Um, I haven't. I've been trying to get in the habit of journaling and those types of things, which is I did a little bit of that prior to the show to write down some notes and that sort of thing. But the biggest thing is I was going to avoid my just spending 7 minutes, seriously, 7 minutes doing just a simple exercise routine. Um, which speaking of, there was just a simple back exercises like your Superman banana sort of stuff, which I have found that as you get older, your muscles get sediment. Of course, I'm sitting, I'm drawing, those kind of things are a sedentary lifestyle we generally live, and it's easy for our like this past year over these last 6 months since I have been doing that. My back hasn't gotten out of place because I've been doing small, quick little back exercises like that. Anyway, my point is that some sort of routine that we're ultimately focusing on, and there's a number of things. I mean, if it's meditation, yoga, I think the biggest thing is music, reading, whatever that is, that morning routine is. I think the biggest thing that I've learned to have that ultimate new day, new week, new opportunities, whatever they might bring, good or bad, it really doesn't matter because in the end, we're fulfilling our ultimate purpose and design as we were created. That it's ultimately the biggest thing, I think, is having that gratitude. It has to be because we all face these struggles. How do we get through this past year and not go back to the normal? No, I want a new normal. I want an exciting new normal that is geared towards gratitude, love, and exciting new opportunities. So check out ElijahLoving.com. We are currently doing we're just, I think, $320 away from our crowd funding goal, which is incredibly exciting. And absolutely, I was just going to say that routine is key. Absolutely, Josh, you're spot on. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And I think that with all of that, we keep helping each other out, and that's why we're doing all this sort of stuff and finding new ways to enrich each other's lives. I think that's all I have for the end of today's show. We have other cool things to do. You guys do as well. You guys are awesome. We love you. Keep doing awesome stuff, and support each other, and we share the love. We'll see you